So I am in Tonsberg, Norway. Apparently it's the oldest town in Norway. Very, very beautiful, historic. And I just came across this Viking ship that they were rebuilding here, recreating this basically in the same fashion, same way that they would have back in Viking days, 1100, 1200, back then. Man, that is cool. From what I understand, they're doing it exactly how it used to be built, or how they think they used to build it. Sealing it with tar. Man, that's awesome. It's basically like an open air construction site here. And you can smell the wood. The cut wood. It's not going on right now, but I guess at any time you could come down here. Typically when it's open, you can come down here and watch them making the pieces and planning everything out. Look at that, they got the rocks weighing it down. That's awesome. I have some information here, but everything's in Norwegian. But these are some of the tools that they use. I guess this whole place is open at times, but obviously not right now. This is part of the wharf, or whatever you want to call it. It's just some restaurants and people hanging out, walking around. This is a nice area. I'll show you this other Viking ship. Saga Tonsberg. Look at that. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll take you closer. You can smell the, I believe it's tar. That's what they use to seal them. Look at the detail on that. I don't know if you can see that because the sun is backlighting me here. Look at that. It kind of reminds me of those, the churches, the stave churches, because of the dark, you know, the tar and the beautiful wood underneath it. And when I say they're doing it legitimately, I mean they're really legitimately doing it. This is a full blacksmith shop that they have here. So anything they need, they make it here in this blacksmith shop, and then they use it at the ship over there on the other side of this building. I think this is more for, you know, it's a gift shop for information or whatever. Look at that. So there's a couple other areas that I want to check out that are not far from here. This is a little museum. It's the other side is a firehouse, so I'm assuming that's why that these are all old fire trucks in here. Look at the front of this. I love the front of this. This is a 1937. It's pretty neat. It smells like oil and diesel fuel. Wow. Look at this thing. So this is a beautiful area that I'm coming up to. It's called Verdans End. It's basically just various inlets and beautiful landscapes that were shaped from the glaciers. I think this is part of a national park called Fardar. So this strange stone structure here is called a bascule light, or a tipping lantern. It's basically just, it's like an ancient navigational tool here. These were popular way back in the 16th and 17th century. So one of the plaques over there, a little bit of information, from what I can gather, reading Norwegian plaques, is that glaciers did this. They basically ran across this rock, you know, very, very slowly, slid, dragged, whatever you want to call it, and smoothed this rock out. It's very smooth now. It's like cement floor smooth in some places. So I guess the name of this place translates to the world's end. It's just a really neat place where the land literally ends here. It's like a big peninsula, or whatever you want to call it, all these amazing rocks, but it's not the most southern tip of Norway by any means, but technically speaking, if you were to look south of here, you would be able to see Denmark. Of course, it's too far away to see it, but beautiful day, Norway, cruising around, and I believe right up the road here is something that I really want to check out, want to show you. It's a fully restored BP gas station. So it's basically, if I can get a good view of it, it's restored to make it look like what it would have once looked like. BP as a company has been in Norway since 1970, and this building was closed. It was abandoned, totally dilapidated, and what they did was they saved it pretty much on the last day. There was literally a machine here, a big backhoe to start destroying the building, and they got lucky, and one thing led to another, and they were able to save it. I don't know if they bought it, or I'm not sure, but and then they slowly restored it, and now it's kind of a neat thing that people just drive by. Apparently it's open once in a while to the public. All the information about it is in Norwegian, or I don't know if that's Dutch, but either way I can't understand it. Look at that. An old Indian motorcycle. So I talked to somebody a little while ago who belongs to this the gas station. I guess there's a group of guys who kind of worked at it, and they restored it together. And then so it's almost like a group or club, and they get to use there's a whole shop here. There's actually a couple shops here. You know, so it comes with some perks. This is really in the center of town here. Tonsberg. I think that's how you pronounce it, Tonsberg. But I am not Norwegian, so for me it's a natural pronunciation of Tonsberg. So I'm going to take a quick walk through the city here, through the town, and check some things out. There's somewhere, like I said, there's a castle somewhere that sits above the entire city or town. I'm definitely going to make my way up there as well. Yeah, these planters are a replica of that tower up there. Now that I know, you can count the windows. There's 3 on top, 2 on the bottom, or in the middle. Whenever I'm in a different country, I always like to try to find these little real estate companies. They always post these properties for sale. Gives you an idea of what things are worth here. And where's the price? Yeah, so this would be like 260,000 roundabouts. It's not exact, but if you can always drop the last number, and it kind of gives you an idea of what it would be in US dollars. I think this is a fairly nice area. You can obviously get cheaper places or more expensive, of course. So this is 3.1 million kroner. So it'd be like 310,000 US. Yeah, so this one is a pretty average house, I would say. Average family house. Even comes with a trampoline, maybe. So it's 2.8 million kroner. So it'd be like 280 some odd thousand. Or maybe even a little bit less. This is a police station, I guess. Police cars. You don't see too many. I mean, in the cities you see police, but out in the countryside, very rarely do I ever see police out here. All right, I told you there was some sort of a castle or something that was up here, or at least remnants of it. Basically overlooks the entire city here. Norway seems to have this 2 ends of the spectrum. They have the classic Norwegian style buildings and homes, and then they have the newer IKEA looking, you know, much more modern homes. This is basically, I think it dates back to 871. So something was here. Could have been just a small fort at the time, but something was here from 871, and it was lived in or used until the 1500s. So this was known as the Tonsberg Fortress. At one time, this was Norway's largest castle. So this tower that you see was built actually in 1888. So much newer than the walls and whatever else is left up here. It took the place of a wooden watchtower that burned down a few decades before that. I don't know what it was. It was the dungeon. There's a model up here. It shows you what it used to look like. So there you go. That's beautiful Tonsberg, what is believed to be the oldest established town in Norway.